You ready?
Yep.
No, this is why I tweak. Because sometimes it randomly does weird shit. I really hope that got recorded, because now I'm going to be tweaking about that. Yeah. So what were you doing today before we started filming?
Oh, I literally just got out of bed.
Really?
You know, I was in bed, bedridden until about, I came to consciousness around like noon.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like stewed in my bed before I like was willing to be perceived.
Yeah.
You know, and then I took a shower. You know, got dressed. I'm here.
That's just about exactly what I've done.
Yeah. It was a long night.
There's nothing better than just like laying in bed on a Sunday and just like thinking about I should do stuff and then just not doing it.
Yeah, just not doing it. Because sometimes it's like, I used to like stress myself out about like, yeah, I should be doing something. I feel like everyone kind of goes through that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, not in a rush to be anywhere. And like the whole, like, you can sleep when you're dead, I understand that. Like, make the most of every opportunity. But like, sometimes I just be tired.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do that.
No, dude, I feel like, especially like that, after a long Saturday of just nothing but drinking, you just need to like, it's almost like, just tell yourself like, hey, like, I don't know what you did last night, but the body's trying to recover from
Exactly, just
your
let it,
decisions.
let it do what it does, you know? Sometimes it needs to, I was talking with Badzik yesterday, about like, for the past like 3 years or so, like my favorite day of the week has been Sunday, for like the rest reason, but like recently I changed to Saturday, and his did the reverse.
Really?
So he was like, dude, at the beginning of the year, I kind of thought it was like, my favorite day of the year is Sunday. And I was like, I just flipped my allegiance to the Saturday.
Yeah. I think the other thing is, I know me and Hoff were talking about this last week, of like, I feel it depends on how easily hungover you get.
Okay, that's true.
Because I mean, I don't know, he has like a whole like hangover ritual that he was telling me about.
So does Hoff?
Yeah.
Panera.
Yeah. Oh, you were all about it.
I remember when we first moved in together, he would like always ask like, because I fucking hate Panera.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like glorified hospital food.
That's that's what I fucking call it.
Very expensive hospital food.
Yeah.
Because you're an intelligent man.
Exactly. Like bagels are good outside of that.
Yeah.
And, like the food there, like why would you get Panera food specifically? Like,
Yeah. Yes. Like I want like one of those like cinnamon bagels or whatever.
Yeah.
Those are fire. You know, I'm sure the pastries and shit is fire, but
Yeah.
like the food there.
It's just not good, and it's also expensive for how
Yes.
bad it is
And how small it is, dude.
Stop it.
That was beautiful.
You're reading my mind right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're one and the same.
No,
Two
this
fucked up people.
is something going on here.
Yeah. Chemistry.
Yeah. See a lot. I'm seeing myself in you, yourself in me, and then not literally though, but maybe a little bit.
We can make a different kind of film, make it exclusive content.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, we got the camera already.
Yeah, paywall it.
Yeah. Only problem is that window, I guess, but a little tape never hurt.
Exactly. It's like free advertising. It's like
Yeah.
Windows.
If you want to see what's going on in this room, go to this link.
Dude, we have an idea here.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
Where do you lean politically and why?
Oh, damn! I've been like looking into a bunch of stuff. Like I'm not one for like the, I can't like label it so much because like obviously, I'm not like well read on the topics. Like it's mostly just like discourse I hear on social media and like my life experience.
Yeah.
But like also soccer's play a big part of that as well. Like having like watching a sport that is a worldwide sport instead of like football or basketball.
Yeah.
You kind of like are also having parents that are being a first generation person. My parents are not from America, so like I naturally have like a more like a holistic view of the world and like things that happen, the way things work in other countries. And so like that, like things like homelessness, hunger, preventable illnesses with healthcare, like I know that these problems have been solved in other countries.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like here, obviously it's intentional. It's known, it's intentional, it's preventable.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, I've always been I think most political, anything beneficial that could happen for people would happen at the community level, like a community to organize things, like relief and stuff like that. Like, so I think that's how things should be politically.
Yeah.
I think we should govern ourselves. I don't see, it's not like that I don't think a government should exist or like committees should not exist. Certain people are certainly more knowledgeable about certain topics and their voice should have more sway, right? Like a licensed professional. But like we know what's best for us in our community now. Like, I think you work at a company. Why is it that they bring in an opening in a C-suite position in your department opens up?
Yeah.
Why do you not get to vote on who gets the fucking spot?
Yeah.
Because we know what happens at the company. Why do we not get to vote amongst ourselves who we believe is the best one
Yeah.
to be in charge? You know, it should be like, I think democracy should definitely be introduced into the workplace. I think the people that work at the company should have a say in what they make, when they work, what they're working on, why they're working on, what the product, like every like intricacy that has to do with the products that they make, goods and services that they make, they need to have a say in it if you're a worker, or at least the opportunity to have a say in that. So like I'm definitely pro like unionization efforts in America, like you see them much in France and abroad all the time, like industrial revolution, like stuff like that. Like the 5-day work week now was only given to us through unionization efforts and protesting. Because it used to fucking be 7. It used to be fucking 6 or 7.
Yeah,
depending on what country you worked in.
I think you only had Sunday off because like church and stuff.
Yeah, only because of like the religious shit, you know? Like, you used to work fucking 6 days a week, 9 to 5, fucking terrible conditions. Like there's always gonna be that dichotomy of like your boss wanting you, the worker, to work as many hours, be as productive as possible, and me pay you the least amount as possible. That's like an exploitative relationship, naturally. And then me, the worker, is going to want to work the least amount of hours, do the shittiest work, and get the most amount of pay for it. So like that dichotomy is always going to exist. So like as we were saying earlier about like homelessness, hunger, stuff like that leverage that the person in power has over the worker, because like there's always that, you do what I say or your life is going to fall into squalor. You know, like most people are what, like, don't have enough money for like a $500 emergency. So like, your healthcare is tied to your employment. You're like, if you don't want to do something your boss tells you, boom, you're fired. You know? And then like what, you're falling wrong and breaking your arm away from your life, just falling into squalor. You're tripping and breaking your leg away from your life just being destitute. You know? It's crazy to me. So I would say like, I don't know like what the term that is, but if anyone like can hear this and like tell me what that is, then
honestly I got no idea, but
I don't know what the term that is.
I don't know. Labels are weird, especially like, I don't know, I guess there is like the two-party system, but then there's also like, or I don't know, that's like one axis, whereas there's also the axis of like where and how much like power do you think the government should have?
Like authoritarianism versus libertarianism.
Libertarianism.
Even our two-party system, like they're on the same fucking side. Like they all agree on the shit ton of things. All the time. It's only like the fringe like aesthetic things that they may disagree on that like doesn't really have any tangible impact. Because like last year reproductive rights were what was the word? What's the word I'm looking for?
Overturned?
Right? And it's like the average like 75% of Americans believe, or probably more, believe that there should be some measure to allow women to have the access to abortion. Everyone. So how is it possible that elected officials do not represent that so grossly to the fact that they can overturn it?
I know similarly 90% of people think that it should be like harder to get a gun in the States.
It's like, how do like like we have opinions and they're clearly not reflected in our government. So like I think we should just fucking kill them. I don't know like what else to do. Like I remember like every time I like watch shows and shit, especially ones that are like Western made, it's like the bad guy has like a good idea but they just go too far. You know, it's like Thanos. Like, dude, we consume too much, we're gonna destroy the planet. I think the best solution is to, like, even though, like, that's like a psychotic one, but like, even like Killmonger, like, that's not like a crazy thing to think. It's like, you the writer, made him go too far. It's like, this guy believes that, like, the world's a fucked up place because everyone's exploitative, and like, there's people in power that if they were not here, it would be a better place overall. And like throughout the show, they'll show that guy to be an abusive person, but they just make, like the problem's a real problem, this person's interested in solving it, like Madara and Naruto, and they just make, it's like, why did they write it this way? The main character's like, I want a non-solution. Actually, we're just gonna
keep the status quo.
We're just gonna keep the status quo. We're not gonna really shake up anything.
And at best, they might like maybe get a little bit of their ideas, but then like it's gone by the next movie or episode.
I remember talking about the other day. We were saying like most like how like establishment content is like also pro-establishment because it doesn't ever offer like an alternative.
Yeah.
You know, like problems have been like homelessness has been solved in multiple OECD countries, even like developing nations do not struggle with like poverty, infant mortality, homelessness, and shit like this.
Yeah.
Like like these are all things that are intentional. They're designed this way, target certain people as well. Like it's all by design.
Yeah.
But like recently, I think like social media, I think like a lot of negative stuff has come from social media, and that's like super highlighted. But I think the positives do not get highlighted nearly enough. Like people have the ability to amplify their stories, tell their stories, give aid through like monetary aid through like foundations, funding, stuff like that. Information, you know, like now people like have a sense, like they hear stories from other people, they connect with those stories that aren't told as frequently. You know, like Martin Luther King was like a socialist and stuff like that. Like we were never told these stuff when we celebrate MLK Day and we're taught that in schools. We don't hear about these things, but like the internet has allowed us to like have an easier time getting this kind of information, forming our own identities and like building communities. And I think that is what has been like disrupting like the status quo more than anything else.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that, you know, like you said, there's definitely a shit ton of negatives when it comes to social media. But the fact of the matter is, like, awareness is so much higher. You know, like, I don't know. At the end of the day, like, there's, like, you know, there'd be things that are reported, but now it's like there's videos of, like, hey, this is how it actually happened.
Yeah, like,
spreads like wildfire.
Like, I think, like, criminal justice has been, like, the biggest culprit of that.
Yeah.
Like, we can straight up record this cop literally just fucking assaulting this man for no reason. For no reason on camera, and they're still like at probation. And like it's recorded so frequently, cops can turn off their body cams, get away with it, stuff like that, and like still very little happens. Or even the fact that it's like debatable that you could watch something like George Floyd happen, and like not come away with the conclusion that that's fucked up. Have like the most watched network television stations debating it is psychotic to me. Debating it?
It's like you said.
What is the debate?
Yeah.
It's crazy to me, but you know.
It's like you said, like, you know, not to say Illuminati, but there definitely are like things in place to kind of try to maintain the status quo. And, you know, it's seeped into just so many different things. It's almost like, not to say the fucking Matrix, but it's like you don't realize it until you like actually start looking for it, you know?
Yeah. But I think a lot of people are kind of aware of it. But the fact is, like, as we were saying earlier, especially in America, like, that threat of your life falling into squalor, of you becoming destitute, like, it's much easier to go with the flow, because that's also where, like, the capital is. Like, they have all the wealth, they have, like, everything, like, we need to be given that. Like, we can either take it, or, like, we can accept jobs that exploit us. And, like, they feed us scraps. That's pretty much it. Like, I don't see, like, any other option other than, like, community organizing.
So the reason I think that, like, local government's the most important thing, because, like, you know, the higher you go, the, like, I guess, like, the more impact it broadly has, but the less impact, I mean, you can personally have. I mean, like, you know, local, just, like, it's all around you. I mean, attend town halls, like...
School boards, stuff like that.
I mean, like, shit that you can actually change and put your voice into, whereas, like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes the federal government's, like, you're one in, like, millions and millions of people, like...
Like you feel like your voice doesn't matter as much. Like in your community, it definitely does. I remember when I was younger, like when we first like get encouraged to register to vote, I feel like most people, what percentage of people even vote? I don't even know. 60, 70? Yeah, it's like 30% of people that like, I remember when I didn't even like register initially to vote, it's because like I thought you only vote on like the president, mayor, stuff like that. But you also get to vote on like bills and shit. I had no idea you get to vote on shit like that. It's crazy. They don't even tell you that. It's like because you're encouraged not to vote, and like voting is actively made harder to do for that purpose.
Especially right now, I feel like just all the voting, like all the, I don't know if propaganda is the right word, but all the stuff is like, you know, distrust in voting. You know, like between mail-in votes or like, you know, making it IDs or like.
Voter ID is just to make it hard to vote. Like, there's no national holiday to make it hard to vote. They take away polling stations in certain communities to make it hard to vote. They only allow like voting during certain times while people who have to work because if they don't go to work, they'll get fired,
Yeah.
and their healthcare is taken away, they won't have a fucking job, they have the voting during the hours where they will be at work, so they can't vote.
Yeah.
Because they're poor. And why does their voice matter?
Yeah.
Because like the people in power are not working during those times, or can afford to take that time off to go and vote and have their voice heard. So
Yeah.
like definitely like that top 30% of people,
Mm-hmm.
as far as like wealth, their voices are massively over amplified.
Mm-hmm.
Their stories are massively overshared. Like their opinions hold way more sway.
Yeah.
And like there's so many cool people, cool opinions, meaningful conversations and discourse that we need to be having about problems, ideas and solutions from those communities that can solve these problems that we just do not even seek out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the importance of diversity.
Yeah, no, I agree. The system's fucked, and I don't know. I don't even know how to fix it. You know?
I'm pretty optimistic, dude. I think like most people agree. Like I don't think I've ever talked to a person that like I've had a conversation like this who's
Yeah.
like outwardly disagreed with you. Like people agree on a lot more than they disagree on.
Yeah.
So like where like if someone is disagreeing with you, it's like probably because there's like you're probably dealing with like a crazy person, like a Nazi
Yeah.
fascist kind of person. And it's
Yeah.
like for those people, like I don't see me personally like another like kind of if you're not interested in like appealing to public demand and you are the person in control and you're not interested in relinquishing that control, then much like the French guillotine, I don't know why that's controversial, but hey.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because I saw like an interview where it was a guy who, like the interviewer was like, yeah, that like 81 people in the world control the same amount of wealth as like 4 billion people, and he's like, yes, that's amazing. These people can
Yeah,
like
Kevin Miller,
just
he's on Shark
strive to
Tank.
be. Yeah, it's just like I don't know. I feel like some people are just so blinded, especially like it's like once you have that power, it's like
I don't even think he's blinded. I think he knows it's bullshit. But like, what the fuck is anyone gonna do about
Yeah.
it? Like, he's got the fucking money.
Yeah.
He employs millions of people and has the ability to take it away.
Yeah.
You know, he like decides who gets what job. That's why people say things like, "It's not what you know, it's who you know." That's bullshit. That's insane. How can you organize society in a way like that?
Yeah.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
So
That's
people-
insane.
the people that are best connected are somehow the most qualified. Like,
Yeah, like of course, like interpersonal connection, social skills are important.
Yeah.
But like also like society is in a way that like not everyone's going to have that confidence or that trust in others to connect with others and make
Yeah.
those connections. Not everyone feels safe opening up. Like even like just a few years ago, like in our lifetime, gay marriage was like a debate. What?
Yeah.
How? It's like how can that person feel safe in their community, open up to others, feel safe in an environment, like voice their opinions, give out ideas and their solutions if they don't feel comfortable in their identity.
Yeah.
They've never seen a movie where themselves, like they are represented. They like feel they can relate to someone. They never like had someone to look up to and stuff like that. They
Yeah.
can't actualize themselves doing anything, then it leads to lack of motivation and stuff like that normally.
Yeah. I
And
can-
not to mention that they have no money anyway, and they have to get a fucking job to live. Yeah.
What's your relationship like with your family?
It was good. Like as I said earlier, like being here was like intentional. I've always felt that way. Like for like growing up in an immigrant household, I'm sure like a lot of immigrant people can relate to this. It's like America is seen outwardly as the land of opportunity. Like to people outside America, there's a lot of people that view America as like that ticket and like don't really know what it is like here and like all the fucking problems that do exist here that might not be like we have the aesthetics like of like America, big toting guns, fucking Texas. Like the Dallas Cowboys is the image of America outside of America, right? Like Jerry Jones, rich as fuck.
Yeah.
Big dick swinging, rude American, stuff like that, bad boys. But like once you get here, it's like, yeah, like the most simple problems that we've been discussing earlier that can be solved are not solved.
Yeah.
And it's like super individualist, like a lot of distrust in others, lack of collective action opportunities because people don't want to organize and it's hard to organize. So like knowing that, always being here, and like the fact that my parents like did put me through this was always like kind of off-putting. Like even though like I know that like they have supported me, been very supportive, or still supportive, like even like my career choices, wanting to be a coach and stuff like that. But it always was kind of off-putting, and I think like now I'm still dealing with like accepting like a relationship with them, like knowing like my history with them, how I was raised, having problems with that. It's not so easy to just like overcome that, like the feeling of like not always feeling safe at home, like always kind of having to be like alert in your head, like never really be able to like shut off, always kind of like having to like put on like a face, like kind of like you always feel like you're performing when you're a black kid, or in a way, like at all times, like on social media, like most content is like driven through like black culture, NBA, street basketball culture, NFL, mostly black, NBA, mostly black. Rap is the most popular genre of music in the world, you know, like that culture is like amplified so much, and like that is like most people's perception of a black kid, especially a black boy. And I was playing sports, and like one of the most masculine, like sports is like one of the most masculine arenas like in the world. That's why like employers look for that on like resumes, people who played sports. Those people are accepted generally. So I always like kind of struggled with like the fact that anytime I was engaged, like interacting with someone, I always felt like, I was always told like, oh my God, like you haven't lived until like, you've been at a bar talking to like white people in a while, and like you're like, obviously you're used to it after like years, and like someone will be like, dude, Benji, why are black people always so cold? And I'm like, what does that even fucking mean?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with me?
What the fuck?
That's such a random thing. It's like, in those moments, you like get reminded that like your skin color and is like a stimulus that other people react to. Like it is a response that someone sees, so it's like, oh, he's a black guy. And that's something that they will form opinions naturally. And like the same thing goes for like attractiveness, the way you style yourself, like all of that. Like obviously like aesthetics is important, but like the one of like being black has been one that was always kind of hard. So like with my family, like going home, like I was fortunate enough to like connect with like extended family as well. Like we have a big family. Like here in America, we have family in Germany, Switzerland, China, and back home in Ghana as well. So like I did get to like see myself a lot through those sources. But like with my immediate family, it's always been kind of hard to like open up to them when I know that like I always kind of had to work harder than I kind of wanted to, do things I didn't really want to, because they knew what it was like here. And they knew that they had to like make me work 10 times harder than other people in order to like have a chance to like survive here. So that's always been kind of hard, but I think it's been getting better.
Glad to hear that. I do know both my parents, my dad's from Canada, my mom's from South Africa, so it's like still like even after moving here, it's still like that allure. I feel like America is like PR. I don't know.
It is, dude. It's fucking crazy. It's funny in a one way, like a dystopian kind of way, but like on the other hand, that's fucking crazy. People think this place is like a meal ticket or something. It's like it's like very psychologically stressful being here, I would say. Like very like in a way that like it doesn't have to be. Like knowing it doesn't have to be like this makes you like, me personally makes me angry. That's like the emotion I would feel. But others, it's just like you feel hopeless, you feel lost, you feel sad, stressed out, anxious. Like all of like the way we've organized society here in America has actively contributed to that. So
I don't know. It's interesting. It's also interesting, like I feel like a lot of people like, I don't know, I feel like everyone wants to stay in America too. It's like, I feel like other countries, or like, I don't know, from talking to my cousins and all that, it's like going around the world, like there's not that like big of a deal. It's like, you know, but then it's like America's like, you go to the States. Like that's the most you can like really like move around the world. I don't know.
Do you want to move out of the country?
I've thought about going back to Toronto. Got a lot of family there.
I fucking love to go to Toronto. Oh my god.
Dude, if we end up in Toronto, like, oh my goodness, this is gonna age like wine.
That would age wine.
I'm here with the head coach of Toronto FC, and I don't know about me yet, but mostly because I mean they're good too. I know they won a championship a couple.
I remember when they had like connections to teams in Europe. like Sebastian Giovinco played there. He was really good there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I went to Toronto my freshman year of college when I was at Cincinnati.
Really?
And I fucking loved it there. I loved it there.
Such a good city.
I've never been to New York, but I want to go there too, and I love Chicago.
Yeah. Do you want to, outside of Toronto, is there like, or do you want to like stay in the States, or I guess like, do you want to, I don't know, any plan about that, or?
I don't really want to plan that. I used to say I want to move out. I normally say I would like to move outside the States, especially because part of the reason I want to do coaching is like, if you work on projects, so like, a club will hire me to work on a certain project. Like we have this H squad.
Yeah.
Maybe, like as a coach, like you have your own skill set. So like mine's probably player development, stuff in squad management, stuff like that. So like I would tend to work with like younger squads even like when I become a professional probably. And just like develop them because they're more malleable at younger ages and then move on.
Yeah.
So like I want to be able to use that ability to move around to kind of travel the world and just work in different places, see different cultures. But at the same time, I moved a lot growing up, and I really do like you feel connected to the places you go to.
Yeah.
So I would like to coach in Ohio for a while at least.
What's your most unique talent?
I was sort of saying earlier about like why I like soccer so much is like and talent being the ability to display your skills, right, and your ability and who you are. So I'd say like my talent has always been kind of being composed in like stressful situations. So like during games, especially with soccer, like it's a very basic game. Kick the ball into the fucking goal. Don't let them kick it into your goal. But they're so chaotic on the field. So like if me and you, like if you stood like over there and we were just passing back and forth, it would be very easy for you, low stress. If we had a person trying to take the ball, it becomes a bit more stressful. Add a crowd, coaches yelling at you, 10 teammates, 11 opponents, a referee. The higher level you go, the expectation on yourself, maybe you hold yourself to a certain standard. Maybe there's the goals you have and your aspirations you have for your career. Like I want to play in college, I want to go pro, I want to win the World Cup, I want to win this title, this, that. You know, your performance, like if you're moving abroad and playing, like your ability to stay in that country and have your visa, maintain your lifestyle is predicated on your ability to kick a ball. All that stress is what soccer is, like sport is in general. And like you kind of become like kind of addicted to it, like in like those kind of moments. And like I like even like when we play like Smash, stuff like that, like the ability to like stay focused on what you're doing has always been kind of a talent of mine, I think.
That's a sick talent. I've always wondered what it's like to be like, because I don't know, the only sport I played growing up was golf, and so like not really have crowds.
Individual sport as well. Like a solo sport, like everything is on you.
I always wonder what it's like though to like be like, especially like a pro athlete or like D1 or something like that. Like imagine like going into the shoe, just like he like perform like in front of that crowd that loud, like
like my favorite game I coached was a Johnstown game against Big Walnut, and we had like a band performance before, a halftime show, and then a post show, and they were like in the crowd, they were like playing music, doing chants and shit like that. The crowd, like it was like the most packed I'd seen our home stands. The away fans came as well. It was a great game. It was chaotic, rowdy, and like you have the entire time you're performing. Like sport industry is entertainment, so like I'm an entertainer in a sense, or I at least contribute towards a show. So like I like during those times like you catch yourself like just living in the moment, just like enjoying like the best seat in the house on the sideline, but also like you have control on it. Like I have the ability to like change formation, personnel on the field, what I tell them, what I'm able to notice the other team's doing, and like our performance is something that coaches are fortunate enough to play a part of.
It's almost like a weird balance if you want to enjoy it, like an awesome show at the same time. It's like, you're orchestrating still.
That's why like that contradiction between is winning most important in sport or is it just for fun? There's always been it's a fun debate to have normally.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, going back to that mentality thing, different people give you very different answers.
Kobe, Shaq. You know, like you want to live your life and have fun and still be good. Don't get me wrong. Or like is winning like your bottom line. And like those rivalries have like come out all the time in sports, all the time. Like Kobe, Shaq, Barcelona, Real Madrid. You know, like Brazilian style versus like flair versus like discipline, like German, English style of playing. You know, like those regimented, like rigid structures. every person in the squad has a role,
Mhm.
is good at, like if you're a defender, you're good at defending, right? But like that may not be the case for someone else. Like defenders also have the ball, they have the most time on the ball because they're the farthest away from the goal.
Mhm.
So their ability to like pick out a pass is also important for some people, where it may not be as important for someone else, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like all throughout sports. Like
Yeah.
what do you think is the best? And that's how you play, that's how you show yourself.
Never thought about like that being a reason for so much like rivalries of just like.
Yeah, like think about it, it's like your identity is like, so like how I've always been able, I'm running like when I meet people at bars, especially, yeah, like anyone I meet at a bar normally, right?
Yeah.
I would, if they told me they played soccer, like you're shooting the shit, like, oh, what'd you do? And I played soccer. Oh, I played soccer too.
Yeah.
Like after a while, like of getting to know them, I try to guess what position they play. And normally I'm right. Like attackers tend to be a bit more, like they have the most difficult time scoring.
Yeah.
Because like that's what they're on the field to do. And it's hard to score.
Yeah.
Because like even if I like mix you, like absolutely chef you up, I still have to beat the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Right? Or like I may not even have to do any of that. Maybe like I just have my teammates cross the ball and then I just dunk on you.
Yeah.
Right? There's so many different ways to get it done. So they have like a certain creative style. Like so they have to solve the problem of getting the ball into the goal.
Yeah.
It's ultimately on attackers to do that. Midfielders tend to be a bit more disciplined, they didn't have a bit more leadership traits the more you go back. Because they have to like, for them it's about making right decisions and not messing up. More so where attackers, you get to take more risks. So the higher up the field or the wider on the field you go, you get personalities that are embody the skill set you need to play those positions.
Interesting.
So yeah, I always guess people like what position. I remember Megan Ahern, like she like the other week, like I was saying that I do this, and she's like position 9 and I got left wing, and she's like yeah.
That's so.
I was like yeah, easy.
That's wild, dude. That's such a cool. That's a cool fucking thing to be.
Even with player development, I was saying like that's why I think that's what I'm good at for coaching.
Yeah.
Is because I think your personality is like as I was saying earlier, like talent is the ability to display, like the ability to show your skills.
Yeah.
Like so, who are you? Getting to know the player as a person, and then you can develop them into that certain role in the team or that certain position in the team. Because like you already do it anyway. Like say like you're a defensive midfielder, and my team, the way I organize teams, has to be able to, I don't know, like pick out passes and kind of play like a quarterback role, or maybe you want them to be a ball winner.
Yeah.
So those personalities are very different. Someone who's gonna go in and like win the ball is like an aggressive, you know, high intensity, loud, maybe brash person.
Yeah.
But while someone who needs to pick out a pass and be like cold and calculated, or maybe more composed than that person that needs to win the ball.
Yeah.
So like getting to know the player as a person is like essential for that.
Damn, that's really cool. What were you doing when you first got the news of COVID?
I remember like seeing it on Twitter, and obviously like we've never gone through anything like this at that scale.
Yeah.
So I didn't really think much of it, and then I saw that people were dying, and then I was like, holy shit, am I gonna die?
Yeah.
I'm like, that'd be a fucked way to go, and then you know kind of like question your mortality a bit, and then you kind of come to peace with it.
Yeah.
And then you kind of just do things to pass the time. Because like, once COVID hit, like we were still going for school for a bit. Spring break happened for us. And then I went back to Tennessee, and I never came back. And that was it.
Yeah.
So like, I took up hobbies. I like to learn things. So like, I watched like YouTube videos that were like informative and stuff like that. I learned to play chess.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty good
Play
at it, too.
guitar. I like watch like coaching videos, like watched anime, pass the time. Like I got to spend time with my family, like reconnect with them during that time. You know, like I was privileged enough to like not really have like all the negative impact. Like I didn't have anyone close to me die from COVID, thank God. And yeah.
That's good.
But I was kind of like shocked that we weren't going back to school. I was like, for how long?
Yeah.
Because like I didn't see like anyone my age for like over like the entire period that we didn't come back. I didn't come back. We went home in like March, and I didn't come back to Columbus until
August.
For me, it was like late June.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that whole period I was just with my family.
Yeah.
Didn't go outside.
Yeah, I mean, best you get like FaceTime.
Yeah, like we would have like the happy hour Zoom calls and stuff like that.
But it's not like this, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was your quarantine, by the way?
My quarantine, that was good because I still play guitar, still play jazz. you know. I like to spend time by myself generally, so well, it wasn't too bad for me, thankfully.
What's your relationship like with your religion?
I'm not very religious, to be honest. For me, I think, as cliche as it is, I think it's just different strokes for different folks. I think the concept of like pitting like some sort of good versus an evil, I think is a arbitrary thing that doesn't matter to me. Like, cause what does it really matter? I don't really know. I don't really know. Like I couldn't really, because I was raised really religious.
Really?
And like, I would go to church. My mom was like my Sunday school teacher. Was in church like pretty much every Sunday. Had to dress up for it. You know, I went to a black church for a while when I lived in Atlanta. When I lived in Memphis, those services were like 2-3 hours long. You know, it's like some of them had like an intermission and shit like that. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
And like I would enjoy it. Like there's definitely lessons to learn from all religions.
Yeah.
But I treat it more as like something like a place or like a school that you can learn things from. Like each religion, like Taoism. Like I took like a East Asian philosophy class, studied Judaism a bit, Christianity, Buddhism, like all that stuff. Like you can like take things from any little realm.
Yeah.
So
there's a way of looking at it, like looking at.
Like I kind of like, cause dude, like being alive, like just like dealing with consciousness is difficult for anyone. So like if religion's like something that's important for you, then like embrace it.
Yeah.
So.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. Like I have like more positive views for religion than anything else.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it. I mean, like you said, like it is different. I mean, the monotheistic religions versus like I don't know, like more Buddhism and things like that.
Polytheistic, or like, do you even believe in like that thing, God, whatever you call it, being separate from ourselves? You see it as like we are the world as part of us. Like I don't know, like we are the universe, the world. Like our actions and ability to like impose ourselves on the world.
Yeah.
We also don't perceive everything that actually happens because like our vision's like different. Your vision's different for everyone.
Yeah.
And like some people can't even see, some people can see, some people can only see from one eye. You know, some people have different like field of vision.
Yeah.
Some people can only focus on like one thing at a time, like far things that are farther away, things that are closer. So
yeah, depth perception.
Yeah, like it's perception's different for everyone. So, and that applies for like religion. So like what you believe is for you.
Yeah.
So I think it's a beautiful thing.
What's your biggest regret?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think it has to do with my playing career for soccer. So, like, it was hard to, because it's pay to play, and like, when I was younger, I didn't play, like, it's like, you know, earlier I said I coached juniors?
Yeah.
So, that's like how most kids get introduced to soccer, is like through a juniors program, an older brother playing, or a parent playing.
Yeah.
And then they have you, and that goes for like most things, like most arts. So, with soccer, like for me, I fell in love with it, but I didn't really, like I played rec. I didn't know the difference between club and rec until I was like 13.
Yeah.
Right, and I played rec for like 3 years. Then we moved around like pretty much every 2 years, so it's hard to join a club.
Yeah.
So, and then like, I remember one year I made a team. It was Lobos in Tennessee, and we couldn't afford it once we found out how much it was. So I didn't even get to play. So that's like, I played probably under 50 11v11 games in my life.
Really?
And that's like experience that I wasn't able to get, you know, like in those moments, like getting those pictures, that pattern recognition, like that I had to just do quicker.
Yeah.
But fortunately I was able to like play with my friends, like small side, and they were good, so it gets you good naturally, and that's how I learned to play soccer. Just practicing by myself because it was fun.
Yeah.
Because I just like to kick the ball.
Yeah.
Like I love to dribble, that was what I like to do. I like to just mix. So like I juggled at home, I would like do freestyle tricks at home and stuff like that, and just like, it was a way to pass the time.
Yeah.
So like that's how I played on the field. I could like play by myself pretty much, and that's how I like to play.
Yeah.
But it was hard to like get chemistry with teammates and stuff like that. So I think I could have played at a higher level than I did, and I feel like I regret not being able to have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree that it is bullshit pay to play. Like how
Yeah,
expensive
it's
it is.
weird.
Like if anything, like wouldn't like sports is a good thing for everyone. It's like we
Yeah.
want people to enjoy
Their time.
like come together and like I mean especially like the camaraderie that comes out of sports. Like I don't know.
Life lessons, like learning
Yeah.
to deal with adversity, seeing like your efforts be rewarded, or
Yeah.
maybe seeing the inverse of that, like you trying so hard for something
Yeah.
And then it not paying off, but like accepting that, like coming to terms with that and stuff like that. Just problem solving, like it's a good thing. Like most arts are, like you can make an argument about like sports being overfunded comparatively to other arts and disciplines, but that's a fair conversation. But arts in general are underfunded, or like there's lack of access to the knowledge of the skills or the ability to like show them off.
What are you most worried about?
Ooh, yeah, like I'm living the merit, like my life falling into squalor. Just like a random, unforeseeable event, just like derailing everything that I want. Because I do want things, you know? And I don't think that's wrong for anyone. So, like my biggest worry would be just that. I probably wouldn't have any regrets or anything, but like I do worry just like that. Also do worry about like falling out of connection with my friends and like people that are important to me, like losing that connection. Because like I think after graduation, like from undergrad, I think that was like the biggest learning curve. It was like you need to like reach out more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, like even in college, it's like once we moved out of the dorms, it's like there's some people that like live maybe like a 10-minute walk that I just
didn't see as much. It's like why?
Yeah. It's just like the effort has to go up so much more now that
you have to put in that, like relationships are hard.
Yeah.
You know, and like there's always like a hyperfixation on romantic ones, but like platonic ones are just as hard too. So, but they're very rewarding.
Yeah.
And I'm very fortunate to, you know, have people that do stuff like this.
Yeah. Thank you. I don't know. For me, it's like, I don't know. Scheduling phone calls with people, especially the people that like don't live near you, it's like especially now that like everyone's like a full-time job, it's like there's so much like logistics to it.
Yeah, you know? It's like I got you like in 2 weeks. And it's like you see those jokes on like social media. It's like like work friends. It's like oh yeah, we can have dinner in like a month or two. And it's like real. You're like fuck, that's crazy. Like Sati coming in over the weekend, that was like crazy. Yeah. Like just see like the way I saw him, like we went to go play spike ball. Yeah. And Hoff told me that there's going to be. I was like, how many people do we have? Because I didn't want to like be sitting out. Yeah. Maybe like not with a partner. And he goes, including you will be 4. And I was like, yeah, perfect. Show up. I see Hudson, Pacheco, and then it was me and Hoff. So 4 people, perfect. And then like they had like a big display, and then Sati like came from behind a tree, didn't even know he was in town, and it was like fucking awesome. We're like, oh fuck, Sati's here. And we got fucking drunk, played spike ball. It was great. Oh yeah, it was a great weekend. No, I heard that like Ben was super coy about getting Sati. He said he was getting his like nephew from the airport. Yeah, something like that. Came back with Sati. They even mentioned him. I mean, I didn't even know. No one knew. It was the big surprise cameo of the weekend. It was awesome. It was really awesome. Yeah. Damn, that'd be cool to do. Like, I don't know, because I feel like now, especially that people are like moving away, it's like Columbus is still kind of like the central hub, but like, there's not like as many places you could do that. Yeah, that's sad. Like Anna just Anna's going away. Okay. I was really rest in peace. Love that girl. No, it's great. I might actually hang out with her in LA in about a week. Really? No way. No, she's moving there, and I'm gonna be visiting. So it's damn, yeah. There's an excuse to visit as well, and more memories elsewhere. So. Exactly. Go see the world and all that. Yeah. Hard traveling. What's the hardest thing that's happened to you this past year? I kind of I think for me, I get stressed out. Like I'll go through periods where I get stressed, and like it'll lead to like self-destructive habits. And it's like I think. It's hard when you try to improve at things maybe my eating habits are pretty shit or my sleep schedule, not procrastinating, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's been hard to be trying to actively improve and then have those periods where you fall out of those routines. Yeah. And you see yourself slipping and it's man, you're it's getting tough again. It's dude, it's your fault. But then you realize that progress isn't linear. It's the ups and downs. But overall, if you keep going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. But at the end, you're higher than when you started. So you are improving. But it is hard sometimes. Feel sometimes you just feel that weight of just being alive. I don't know. I feel for me events, I've never really taken them too hard. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe a friendship or something didn't really work out. If someone bailed on a commitment with you, maybe a girl you maybe didn't really work out with her, but say let me. Exactly. I don't know.
I agree though. Life is stressful, but
Yeah, it's fucking tough. I hate this shit sometimes.
as long as you're going in the right direction, that's all that matters, right? Because like the other tough part about life is it's like there is no, well, there's a finish line, but it's like
Yeah.
the goalpost is always moving. You know, it's like you can always be better. It's like
Yeah, you always could be better.
Yeah.
It's like it's stressful, but also it's cool.
Yeah.
Like I like that.
Yeah.
And like once you like accomplish something, it's like, what's next?
Yeah.
It's up to you to like celebrate your accomplishments though. Like I hear a lot like disappointment hurts more than it outweighs like that relief of being or like the happiness of like success.
Yeah.
Because like the feeling you get when you're successful is more relief than anything else. You know. Like I remember when I got into like the graduate program, it was relief. It wasn't like happiness.
Yeah.
But it's up to you to celebrate it.
Yeah.
So I did. I got fucked up.
Hell yeah.
I think everyone should.
Yeah, we gotta tell you again, because look, I mean, you're a fucking grad student.
Yeah, I am. I know. Sometimes
It's-
forget that stuff. It's like,
No,
like earlier when I was like listening up, I was like, you like forget you do a lot of things. Like sometimes like, it's because like, you know, we're in the right rooms with
Yeah.
cool people who do a lot of cool shit.
Yeah.
So like you feel like you're, I don't know, like it's hard to like not compare yourself to others. Like
Yeah.
that's another like negative of social media.
Yeah.
That like you constantly see other people, what they're doing.
Yeah.
Maybe you compare yourself to that. And you should and you shouldn't. Like you should be able to like be inspired by other people. Like one of my favorite quotes is like, once you can look at someone and appreciate what that person does, no matter what they are, what they do, and who they are, you get inspired. Like if that starts with that humility to like being willing to learn from someone else, be able to look at someone and just listen to them.
Yeah.
And not just like hearing what they say, but like really noticing the little things, how they present themselves, how they interact with you.
Yeah.
Like I remember at when we went to Carol's last night,
Yeah.
when I was like people, what's funny to me is like how people greet you.
Yeah.
And Megan always like stands up, like Carol's roommate.
Yeah.
Like when she greets someone, she'll like stand up and like hug them and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I'm like, you're very good manners. Like it's those little things that you notice about people that you really appreciate.
Yeah.
So.
I agree. I love like seeing people's little mannerisms.
Yeah, everyone has those little
Yeah.
ticks.
my favorite thing is I've been when I'm going back and editing these things, like when people like there's dead air I gotta cut eventually, like when people are thinking about a question, it's like seeing like what they do when they're thinking.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. It's like,
That's crazy.
yeah, because like everyone's got like some sort of mannerism. So like what do they do with their body while their brain is just kind of like in
Taken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
some people have like the tongue out, like Jordan.
Yeah.
People tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I know Evan did like it was like snapping and like it was like
Well, that's fun.
yeah, it was just like I didn't notice until like the third time he did it. I was like, huh, because that was the first episode I did, and I was just
Okay.
like, a lot of these things are gonna be fun to look for.
Yeah, like looking back, those little funny. You feel like a blooper reel, people.
I probably could.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be a funny video.
I've thought about doing some stuff between blooper reels or I don't know. There's one question I'll get to later where it's just like stitching it all together.
How
Like,
many of these have you done?
filmed or published?
Filmed. Only film.
Filmed 32.
Damn, that's good.
Yeah.
Honko.
Yeah, published about 20. I'm just getting the September videos.
Okay.
So
So you like film them, then you edit.
yeah, so yeah, I don't think I actually talked about you like the or like
Yeah, I heard about it from Ha. Or no, you mentioned it to me once.
yeah,
Like
it's
at your place.
yeah,
right?
but it's film it and then I'm releasing them chronologically. So I gotta I just finished with September I want to say,
Okay.
and so mainly just dead air and then volume stuff because like sometimes you're talking like this loud and other times especially like more serious stuff it's like a little more quiet all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so although Hoff did give me idea of using AI voice or AI podcasting stuff, Adobe has some stuff to
Like some tools for that.
yeah to like better equal out your volume.
Okay.
Looking into that now because scheduling can be annoying. Editing is not fun because it's
Yeah,
like two
sure,
or
that
it's like
sucks.
an hour to Hoffner is actually the longest one with a 3-hour video.
Man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
I don't know how long ago, but
But I mean, it's like that much footage like a week because I'm trying to like do one episode a week published. But this is the best part by far.
Yeah.
it's a fun
Yeah.
fucking process.
I feel like the hard, like, there's no like deadline for Stewie. Like, you have that initiative.
Yeah.
And you still get it done though.
Yeah. Oh no, trust me. They're like the initiative gets low sometimes.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's like there's no deadline for this. There's no
Yeah.
consequence really for not
Well,
editing.
I guess there's a little bit because I'm leaving Columbus.
Oh.
I'll be moving to Chicago at some point.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I like Hudson. Is Hudson moving there too in like a year?
Really?
I think so.
I don't know Hudson was moving.
I think I heard that somewhere.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get through everyone I want to in Columbus before I go, and so like that's during my weeks off that I've got upcoming. I've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday blocked out for another 3 episodes a week.
Dang, it's like a full-time shift.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Like this time off's not going to be time off, but this is the reason Sundays are my favorite days.
Oh wow,
this shit.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's a good fucking time.
Hell yeah. What's the name of the pod?
Mastered Memories.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'll send you a link to the channel once we're all done here
I'll
today.
send some stuff out.
Yeah, because there's a lot of beat bad people.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's like I wasn't in the chapter, but I got.
Hey, you know it is what it is. That chapter. Good times.
I remember.
Yeah, that was a weird time. We were fucking. Like you get into that shit when you're 18.
Yeah.
And like we're like so far from that, but like you still like have the friend and
Yeah.
stuff. And it's like it's a funny experience.
It's crazy because my dad was in a fraternity, and it's like he still like talks to like
So awesome.
people like in his pledge class and his like chapter, like all this stuff. Like
I think the funny thing will be like when you get old, like meeting somebody who's like in a different chapter than you know, like that, like, oh, you were like,
yeah,
like Texas or some shit.
Yeah.
It's like from Bama. And it's like, oh, you know, like that kind of shit.
It's almost like soccer. It's like just a instant
Yeah,
connection.
like that. It's like you know you have like related memories.
Yeah. What's something that made you laugh really hard recently?
I don't know, like me and Hoff have been like watching like YouTube videos, like we'll like always like be on social media and shit. But like we watch like the Try channel, and like now we've been like recalling like certain like callbacks from those videos. So,
Yeah.
you know what the Try channel is?
Nah, I don't think I do.
It's like those Irish people that like try alcohols.
Interesting.
Yeah. Dude, I just noticed something during this. I don't have the best like ability to like recall things.
Nah, dude. Time's hard.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it's all like one slush, but like certain times you do get like better clarity.
I've talked about this with the old roommates. Is I can't tell if like freshman and sophomore year is so hazy because it's been like so long, or if it's because I just drank it all away.
Yeah, the drugs. The drugs are also. Yeah, that's definitely contributing.
So it's like I remember the feelings. I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, like you always do remember the feelings. Like you just know, like I remember that year was a good year.
Yeah.
Or that year was a bad year.
But why?
Yeah.
Things happen.
Yeah, shit happens.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
I don't know. I said to myself I was gonna like write a note every day of college about what happened that day. Did it the first day, and that's
Never
it.
did it again. Dude, I really admire people that journal. I'm sure it is a constructive habit that maybe hopefully one day I will be able to pick up.
I wonder how often people read their journals.
Yeah, like look back through, it's gotta be rewarding. Are
Yeah.
you like someone that goes through their photos? Like
Yeah,
old photos?
I've got a project called Land Mash of the movie. Great title, I know.
Wow.
It's essentially just me stitching together all the videos I have in chronological order.
Chronological order.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, shout out to Ben because he's like junior, senior year, like half those videos are for him. That man loves to video. And it's,
Yeah, he is a picture guy.
Yeah.
But you need one. You need people like that because I'm not
yeah.
much of a photography person.
Yeah, neither am I. I'm not the person that's like, hey, let's get a flick. Or
Yeah.
just record whatever. It's just like,
Or like I'll take pictures of other people, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be someone to like,
Hey,
let's get a picture.
Yeah.
You know?
nah, it's a whole thing. I need to get better at that. 'Cause it's like, I'll be like, I think we had like a picture last night, like a group picture of some sort maybe.
Yeah, like we had like the camera photos.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, I was or if it wasn't for that, I never would have got a picture. And last night was so fun. It
Yeah,
deserves to be remembered.
It does, and amen.
Who was your hero?
I looked up to a bunch of athletes. I was always like interested in like people that were good at things and like why they were good at getting good things, and like realizing that like that idea of like people just being better was false. You know, like I was interested in seeing like people were good at things for different reasons, and I always thought that was really cool. So for me personally, I was super into Dwayne Wade. I was super into Neymar. I was really into Thierry Henry. I'd say those three were my biggest heroes.
Oh yeah. Have you talked to Cody at all about D-Wade? Have you talked to...
Not really. I know he's a huge fan, right?
That's his, like, he says he's the greatest shooting guard of all time.
Dude, for me it was crazy because he was really quick and he was definitely athletic.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like crazy absurd at like any one thing.
Yeah.
Like he was just kind of really quick in his head and physically.
Yeah.
Like, he was just a freak of a guy. He was really cool to watch. And the Flash is a cool nickname.
I was about to say, like, that's just such a great, and
Yeah.
I don't know, he had a great career, especially if you don't remember the fact that he went to the Bulls.
Yeah, you don't got, dude, careers get weird at the end.
No, it's funny, because, like, for the NBA 75 jacket, like, everyone had, like, a patch on, like, from each team that we're at, and, like...
See the Cavs and the Bulls on it.
It feels like they should have just not, like, like Jordan, I don't know if he had the Wizards on his jacket. I didn't look at that, but it's like we collectively choose to forget about that part.
Yeah, and I think that's good. You know, like rewriting history is definitely a problem. Whitewashing history is a problem. But some things it's good to do that. You know, I don't need to know that part. Ronaldo's in Saudi Arabia right now. We don't need.
It's not.
We don't need to know that.
We don't have to think about it.
Yeah, we don't have to. Great player.
Just throw some rose-colored glasses on.
Yeah, what's he do? He's retired actually. Like I don't know. In my head,
he's
I don't
coaching.
know. Yeah, he's coaching right now. You know.
What's your favorite tradition?
I think Independence Days are cool. I think like you as like your nation like gaining independence, on like a being respected and recognized on an international scale as your own people is definitely a day that should be celebrated by communities. You know, or like even like historical events that might be like something cool that happened in that state. Like in Twinsburg, they have the Twins like day, like that they were like a bunch of twins, they have like that festival or whatever. Like I think that's a cool thing. So I think like super like niche holidays are really cool.
Any specific Independence Day come to mind?
Oh, Ghanaian independence, obviously.
What's the best thing that's happened to you this past month?
Best thing, I can't remember break. Well, it's not even breaking news, but I'll be changing clubs.
Really?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll
don't
go
worry. This isn't going up.
Yeah, I know. Why am I talking like this like an interview? But at New, like I work at, as I was saying earlier about working your way up the soccer pyramid. Yeah. Like genuinely, like the way I thought of it, it was like the same way like you would work at any job you would do. Like it starts with like those bullshit apprenticeship type jobs. Yeah. Like when you're an intern, like they talk about like how you're just getting coffee for your boss and stuff like that. Or like your source people not like enjoying their internship, feeling that they got to actually do anything during their internships.
It's the groundwork.
Yeah, it's the groundwork. So like I'm here, I'm there now. Like I'm starting I started coaching at Soccer Shots is what it's called. So it's like preschool age, like pre-K kids. And like, it's just like we go to the school, we take them outside to the playground at the school, and like we run like a little fun session where like they dribble a ball up to the cones and knock them down and stuff like that. It's like really zany. Like you're in that, like you are like teaching skills, but it's more about entertainment. Yeah. Like you're almost like Barney in a way, you know? But it's like, it's kind of funny because you're working with kids and kids are cool. Yeah. But I went from there, then I worked in a rec league called I9 Sports. And there I was coaching like 9 to 11-year-olds. And that was a bit more like, you know, it was a bit more, but you know, still it's like your parents signed you up for it, and like all the kids want to be there. And then from there, I met a guy who is the operations director at New Albany FC, and that's how I got connected there. And then I became a U12 coach. But New Albany is a club that's only been around for the past 5-6 years. Yeah. And like 2 of those years were nixed because of COVID. Yeah. So like in the team I work with is 12-year-olds, and so they missed those 2 years playing. You know. So like they don't have that experience playing, and they're like older, and there's definitely I cannot wait to see like the effects that did have on kids, and like being documented in the future.
No, it's so interesting because like you know school is obviously important to like learn and shit. It's like so like all the social experiences like you learn how to interact with people. Like I remember Derek was telling me like he went to like his cousin's wedding and like all the kids didn't know to like how to like hang out. It was just like,
yeah, it's gonna be hard for kids, I'm sure. Like you were, and like obviously like we're getting more digital, like metaverse, like VR, augmented reality. People identifying more with their online personas because there's that anonymity that is offered through it. So you feel more comfortable saying something you wouldn't say otherwise. Yeah. So it's like you're already more inclined to just be a little phone person. Yeah. But like having COVID as well, so you couldn't even interact or socialize, I'm sure it's going to be really funny to see.
Yeah. It's going to be wild, like 30 years from now, just all the studies of everything, like
the effects of like everything that happened to us. I cannot wait to read it.
Oh no, I'm interested to see if there's any like lasting effects of having COVID, because like you know, there's probably people have never got it. It's like, I mean, it's a respiratory illness. Like the people that got COVID, like there's something happened to their lungs. It's like we don't realize this until years.
Yeah, years and years, dude. But did you have COVID?
Did have COVID.
Was it bad for you? Or was the vaccine bad for you?
Vaccine wasn't bad. Actually, all 3 shots, I got a vaccine because I got a booster too. I drank the day I got it.
Same.
Yeah. I remember I had the booster specifically. We had a box party, and I was
Were you fucked up?
Fucked up.
Yeah.
And the next morning, I just treated it like a hangover, and I'm pretty sure it was maybe just
It was not a hangover. You did that just to get through your day.
Yeah, no.
I'm sure it's a hangover.
It was like Gatorade, what is that? Like the water.
Pedialyte.
A Pedialyte, yeah. Just like whole concoction of stuff, and I'm just like, this is how we're gonna get through it.
Yeah, this is what we're doing today.
Yeah.
It's recovery today.
Yeah.
My roommate Matthew, in college, he drank the day he got a vaccine. He drinks a lot,
Yeah.
like he can without being too fucked up.
Yeah.
And he had like 1 beer maybe, and he was just out. Like he was dead.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, damn, I really shouldn't drink. But also that encouraged me to drink when I got mine.
Different strokes for different folks.
I was definitely fucked up.
Yeah. I still mad about this. I remember I had mono last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like apparently like some people had mono and just like could do whatever. Like I had 1 beer when I had like mono and like I thought I was going to die. Like it's crazy like how different immune systems are so different. Like
yeah. His body's fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
They're amazing though.
Dude, it's like we're giant meat machines.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like I don't know. These things fascinate me. That sounds bad out of context, goddamn.
Oh, will be a funny Twitter account.
What do you think your past self would think of you now?
Oh, that dude, he would love me. Oh my god, he would think I'm so cool.
Hell yeah. It's damn, like any
Yeah.
any specific thing that he'd be like.
I think he would be proud that I am going to hopefully do something that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Because I know that I think become doing coaching, like I was like super enthusiastic to do it just to like get out of like that typical 9 to 5 kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then like I realized like what I was saying earlier about you should not identify too much with your job.
Yeah.
I think that's a trap that a lot of us fall into growing up. So I think one, getting to be privileged enough to have the opportunity to pursue something that I will be passionate about and am passionate about,
Yeah.
as well as having a life outside of it.
Yeah.
Being comfortable not excelling at it maybe,
Yeah.
while other people may. Like we have friends that work at Tesla, Amazon, stuff like that,
Yeah.
bankers and stuff. But like right now, like when people ask me what I do, it's, oh, I coach a U12 soccer team.
Yeah.
It's like a little club. It's like, yeah, it's a little club.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome. What do you think your purpose in life is?
Damn, dude, I'm actually pretty anti the idea of there being a reason. Like that's also why I'm not very religious.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, it's like a question that no one should ask.
Yeah.
Like, why am I here?
Yeah.
You are here. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
You know, like you're here, move. And same with like how I coach kids with soccer. It's like the kids that are bad or like struggle during games. Like as I was saying earlier about us, like if I was passing a ball with you with no opponent, it would be easy for you, or someone that hasn't played before. But like you add those other stimuli, then it becomes more stressful. So
Yeah.
kids will like be thinking about other things while they're playing the game. Like, man, like, what am I gonna eat later? Or I'm tired. Or I wonder if fucking Sarah texted me back or something, you know? But like, the kids that are focused on actionable steps, what they're doing in the moment, are the ones that are going to make the most of that opportunity during those 90 minutes you're playing. So that's the same approach I think you should have to life. Like your purpose, fuck, whatever you want to do, dude. As long as you're not hurting nobody, as long as you find it fulfilling, I think your purpose is just to find what you find fulfilling.
Yeah. I mean,
And with people that fill you with joy and like add to you.
Yeah.
And like that give and take. It's not like in all relationships, it's like should be 50-50, but that I don't think is true.
yeah. No, I definitely think that purpose is like self-driven. No one had like there's no one purpose.
Yeah, there's not one purpose. It's like simply like you find out what works for you. Like
Yeah.
people, making connections. Like sometimes you're gonna have a connection that's like 50-50 ideally, like reaching out as we were saying earlier about hardest part about leaving college and like leaving dorms and stuff like that extra effort, sometimes one person's going to need more effort in that time. Because you don't know what they're going through no matter how well you know someone.
Yeah.
Like, there's still, like, that personal stuff. Like, I don't even know what your favorite color is, but we're good friends, right? I remember Anna texted me the other day. She was like, what's your favorite number? And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, we're just like my college friends, like, I know, like, nothing about.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure she's been going through, like, that struggle of her having to move all the way across the country, leave Ohio, all her friends, and, like, go start a job, but, you know, like, you don't know, like, how someone's dealing with that mentally.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, what's the old expression, like, everyone has three faces, the one they show to the world, the one they show to their friends, and the ones they only show to themselves. Like, there's so much, like, you're only seeing, like, part of it.
Yeah.
Are you fulfilled?
Am I fulfilled? Absolutely. I mean, I'm satisfied for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did get to a point where I do know, accept the fact that you're never going to know everything, despite your desire to maybe want to know everything. Like, burdened with, like, you're always going to be plagued with, like, knowing and, like, that process of thinking you have it figured out, and then, like, something just shattering your worldview, you know? But I think I'll always will want more. You know, I think that's natural to always want more. So, like, I'll never really be fulfilled, but I can be content.
Mm.
I can be, I feel privileged, I feel humbled, I feel honored, like, that I've been able to make the connections I've made, like, to be able to connect with myself and all that stuff, so.
It's that moving goalpost again.
Yeah, like, the goalpost's always moving, so.
Yeah, but being able to look around and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Like, being able to stop, enjoy the company around you, enjoy how far you've come and look back and see, like, how high up you've made it.
Yeah.
Like, being able to say confidently that my younger self would be proud of me. Like, I think that's fulfilling enough.
Yeah.
So, like, no matter, like, if I accomplish my dreams or not, it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah, you're here now.
Yeah, I'm here now, I've done it.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself going in the next 5 years, both personally and professionally?
Oh, personally, I see myself learning a few new languages in the next 5 years. Dude, Badzik inspired me to start doing Duolingo. Because when he posted that 1,000-day streak, yeah, I was like, dude, that's crazy. I want to do that. Also, I was saying, it's like that stuff that inspires you from other people. So, like, I started my own Duolingo streak.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've been doing French. I took French in high school, and, like, obviously you forget about it.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm getting better at it.
Yeah.
And I want to do Portuguese, and I want to learn my parents' language, Fante.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, before I die. So it's a long time.
Yeah, oh yeah. Jacques Lebleu.
Exactly. But professionally, I see myself. So, as I said earlier, I'm changing clubs. I'll be joining, right now I was at a starter club. Next, I'll be joining a MLS affiliated club. So, like, a team that has ECNL, which is elite, ECNL's elite club, National League.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what club involved in that. And then I'll probably join a assistant coach at a college or assistant at a first team or a U23 semi-professional or professional team on the side. I also want to do ODP, Olympic Development Program coaching as well. So in the next 5 years, I do expect to be working with a professional team in some capacity.
I'm professional Benji. That's
sick. Coach Ben, that's what they call me.
Mm. Dude, that's wild.
That's
so, I don't know, 5 years is a weird thing.
Yeah, like, 5 years is a long, I don't know what I'm doing 5 days, well, in 5 hours. I'm Jake Paul's fighting later.
Yeah, dude, I'm a big believer of, like, at the very least in your 20s, you can maybe play in a year or two out, but it's like, things change.
Yeah, like, dude, when I transferred to OSU, I did that on a whim. Like, I applied, like, a week before the deadline because my friends, like, asked me, like, if I thought about transfer. Like, a bunch of our friends, like, either dropped out our first year or they weren't doing well in school at UC. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't really want to stay here. Like, I really liked UC. Like, I loved it. Yeah. But I was like, maybe I should go to OSU. And it was kind of just like I felt in the moment, and I applied, didn't really think about it, got in, and I was like, I'm going to go.
Hell yeah.
Here I am, and here I am.
Here you are.
Quite literally.
Yeah. Lastly, for the conversational segment, what's one thing you want to have done by the next time we film another podcast episode? I don't know when exactly that'll be, but I'm thinking 3+ years from now.
I would hope the next time we film one, I would have my pro license for coaching.
Pro license?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a good goal. So like I said, that ends the conversational part of this podcast. Wrapping up, I got some exit questions. These are some rapid fire stuff, so first thing comes to mind, but if you need time to think about it, go for it. Just try not to overthink it.
Yeah.
So this is a moment in the mind of Edwin, Benjamin, Quamina, Josiah. What's a song that's stuck in your head recently?
Oh, After by MC Vitin. It's some Portuguese like funk music.
Yeah.
It's like rap in Brazil. But yeah, that song's been fucking stuck in my head. I love it.
Gonna have to listen to that.
I'll send it to you after.
What's one of your favorite quotes or lyrics?
True warrior doesn't need a sword.
This is a good quote. You know where that's from at all, or?
Vinland Saga, it's an anime.
I gotcha.
Or you have no enemies. Yeah,
Also
another
good
one.
What's the best show or movie you've seen the past month?
Best show. I've been watching Ted Lasso recently.
Mm.
I'll say that. Finally, because I always get asked it.
Yeah.
I always get asked.
soccer.
The conversation
Yeah.
goes, what do you do? Like, school, grad school, coach soccer. You've seen Ted Lasso? Oh my God, you've seen Ted Lasso. And I always had to say no.
Yeah.
And now I can say yes, I have, and I really liked it.
Oh, I need to watch it. Or just gas.
It's really good, yeah.
Yeah. What's the best thing you've binged recently?
Other than Ted Lasso, I watched Haikyuu. Alright, which is
That's the volleyball one, right?
Yeah, I fucking love that one. That's one I would show a child.
Yeah.
I think a kid should watch that.
Yeah. Ben was watching that when we were in the Vatican. It always looked good. And I was like, I should watch this.
Yeah, dude, it is good.
Yeah. What is the best book you read recently?
Best book, not big reader. Not a big reader, unfortunately. That's a habit I would like to break. But I read like newsletters from people. So I read like psychology for sports coaching and high performance. I read like tactical books about like the history of soccer. It's like one thing about coaching sport is players know how to play.
Yeah.
So a lot of coaches don't even really coach too much. It's more about like managing a profile of person who is a millionaire.
Yeah.
And like getting them to focus and buy into that organization and give their best effort while they're there.
Damn.
So a lot of it's that, but for me, I was a player.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the tactical side, but that's not the stuff I learn at my coaching courses. So that's something I do on my own that I find interesting. So I read about that stuff.
That is really cool.
Yeah. So like it's hard because I think the best way how I've done it so far is I started like the history of the sport. Why like. You ever heard like the formations in soccer, or think about basketball, like zonal defending, the way they play, man to man versus that kind of stuff. Like I learned like what is a formation, how did that start?
Yeah.
And you learn like now like a normal formation would be like a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, 3-5-2. But back in the day it would be like a fucking 1-1-8 or something like that. It was like the most like. Back in the day, that was the norm.
Yeah.
But now looking back, it's like, why the fuck doesn't even make sense? Like certain positions don't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
But you learn like, what was the idea that the person had? Why? What problem did that solve? How did they come up with it? Who came up with it? Then you learn about like the history and how, without social media, tactics evolved in isolation in countries, right? So like they maybe had a similar idea because maybe a coach went from one country to another country, but once that coach left and the idea is still there, or maybe a country hears about an idea, they then build off of that, and it just, what started as the same idea has like become a completely different thing. And like seeing that manifest in different environments, you learn about that, and then you start to have, you of course had your own experience playing, me personally, and I have my own ideas, and then that forms my soccer philosophy.
That's really interesting. I've never thought about it like that, like kind of tracking how, like you said, the ideas evolve, but like in different pockets.
Yeah.
Like it's how things just, like everyone solves the same problem in different ways.
Yeah, like impacts by your culture of that place.
Yeah.
Like, as I was saying earlier about like difference between like, maybe like a German or English team that's like more structured, or like a South American team or African team that's more, flair, style, creativity, and seeing how those cultures organize a team, how they educate their players, what they think makes a good player. What I think makes a good player is going to be different than what someone else thinks makes them a good player. Yeah. You might interpret a position or a role differently based off your culture, but that all comes from the culture of the place and their environment. Yeah. So,
that's really interesting.
Yeah. You should read about it.
I'm going to now. It's so fucking cool. What's your current job? My current job? I coach a U12 soccer team at New FC, and I coach at Johnstown High School, and I'm also a TA. What class are you TAing for? I TA for college sports, so
kinesiology 411.
Oh yeah. Do you want kids? If so, how many?
I used to say no, but now I think it would depend on my partner. I think that's something that like it's more like I think I would like to either adopt. As far as like birthing my own, that's not really that's not up to me. So.
I gotcha. Do you have a favorite conspiracy theory?
Favorite conspiracy theory? Oh man, I like the ones that involve like a dead person still being alive and like just like lingering around out there. So those ones. Not like anyone in particular, I would say, but like the idea that like someone like faked their death.
Just to get like
is
or
hilarious.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are goofy. Do you have a favorite spot to eat nearby? Sit down or fast food?
Sushi 10. Sushi 10
Sushi
in,
10.
Off Old Henderson Road, called Sushi 10.
Gonna have to go get it. What's something that's underrated?
Finding style. I think fashion, I think, is a bit underrated. I think like a lot of people only look at like models or things like that, but like having your own style and like just like being comfortable in your clothes.
Yeah.
I think fashion's a bit underrated. I don't think that really makes sense, but I'm good with that one.
No, I think like the process of figuring out your own style.
Yeah, like what you like to wear and stuff like that. Like connecting with yourself, I'd say be underrated then.
I fuck with it.
Yeah,
Do you have a biggest hot take?
A biggest hot take, dude. I always like things like this. Like I always like have like a good one, like in the like in isolate, like alone.
Yeah.
Like in the moment like this, I'll forget. I think sports are an art.
Sports are an art.
Sports are indeed an art.
It's a beautiful hot take.
That'd be my hot take.
Do you have a big pet peeve?
I do. I have a lot of little pet peeves, like lights being left on in rooms.
Why can't people just
turn it off, man. Just turn it off. Off does it if you want to. Off does do it.
Yeah.
But it's like a little cute, like a little pet peeve. Like it's not like it just like enrages me.
No, I get it.
You know,
I definitely get it.
turn that light off. It's like just a little switch.
They made it so easy. You just go.
A little flick. Sometimes it's a little pad, you know, kind of just like flip.
Or maybe even a little dial.
Yeah, like a little slider to dim the lights.
It's like it just like
flick it.
Yeah.
Especially in closets, man. Like you'll turn off like your main light, but you have the light off.
Oh, especially if you forget about a light in the closet, because it's like you close the closet and then you forget about the light in there. It's just like then you open, it's like why was the light on?
Yeah, like what? Yeah, that's what that is.
No, I get it. What's your biggest insecurity?
Biggest insecurity? I think way too much about how I'm perceived by other people. I think way too much about it. So I think like that insecurity of like being perceived incorrectly or like not coming off the way I want to, being misunderstood. I think that's the biggest insecurity.
Gotcha. What's your favorite quality about yourself?
Favorite quality with myself? Being able to spend time by myself.
It's a really good quality. Do you have a favorite outfit?
Favorite outfit? Oh, dude, I like, you know, like how people say they don't wear like the same thing twice. Like how like rich people say that kind of shit. But like I kind of like will have favorite outfits that I haven't worn yet. So you will find out. For me to know and you to find out.
You're just gonna stomp me.
Yeah, it's like I like clothes. I like dressing up.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
What's your biggest hobby?
Biggest hobby? I would say fashion or guitar at the moment. Watching anime. Yeah. Or coaching. Maybe that's a hobby.
Oh yeah. You're stuck on a deserted island. You can only bring one thing. Anything electronic doesn't have cell service, and you can't bring a boat. Or like
cannot be a
like that.
boat.
Can't be a boat or a raft or like something like that. Anything else goes. What are you bringing?
Soccer ball.
Soccer ball. Fuck yeah. Who are your best friends?
Who are my best friends? Man. I don't know. I don't really have like a hierarchy. Certain like friends understand me differently.
Yeah.
Like even like the friends I've known for the longest time, like you kind of like develop that relationship with them, and it's kind of hard to like change like the experiences you've had with someone based off like we met each other at different stages of our lives than like my high school friends met me.
Yeah.
So like us seeing each other go through certain things, seeing where we started from now. Of course, like time does make those memories more fond, those connections a bit stronger, but like you also meet people and you're like, dude, like it feels like you've known each other for forever, you know?
Yeah.
Like you feel so comfortable around them. So I don't really rank my friends.
Yeah. No, I get it. What are you curious about?
What am I curious about? I'm curious about I've always been fascinated by people that weren't confident, people that lacked confidence. Because that's like I was saying earlier, like I was always obsessed with people that were good at things and why they were good at things. And I would like kind of study them that way, like listen to their interviews, see how they presented themselves, see the way they did things, how meticulous they were about certain things, how anal they were about like detail, like the finest little details. So
Yeah.
I've always been curious about why people, like what does hold people back, and then I learned about those things that do hold people back, like societal pressures, lack of opportunity, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, what I'm curious about is like how to best solve those things, I would say.
What's something that you have to do every day?
Smoke. Sorry, Mom.
Bro, what's your proudest accomplishment?
My proudest of not killing myself. I've lasted this long, I would say.
Oh yeah. Well, we're not or 23 and counting, right?
23 and counting.
Let's fucking do it. What's one thing you want to own?
One thing I want to own, surf or a skateboard.
Damn.
Yeah, I have a friend named Faith, and she surfs, and I've been super jealous of her for a while. I want to go surfing. Never even been to a beach before.
Really?
No.
Damn.
Never been to. I was on a boat for the first time last year. I went on a boat. Went to Buckeye Lake with some friends.
No, I have been on a boat. Yeah, boats are weird.
Boats are, oh, maybe a boat then. Yeah, I want on a boat.
My guy's gonna get a yacht.
Yeah, yeah, super, yeah. I just a little dingy maybe.
Yeah. What do you think the price of gas will be by the next time we film?
$2.95.
Damn, we're going down.
Yeah, we're going down.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I'm hoping.
we're going down.
Where do you want to visit next?
Where we want to visit next? Either Pittsburgh, LA. Yeah, Pittsburgh or LA.
Shout out 412 shout out.
Or New York.
Or New York. Yeah, I don't know either of those area codes, so shout them out in general. What's one piece of advice you have for yourself, for the world, for me, whoever?
Okay. Oh, dude. Just send the message. Just you know. I feel like I hesitate to reach out to people too much. I would advise myself to just do it more. Because like it's not that deep. just to reach out feels very easy.
Yeah.
So, you know, like it's not always gonna work out, but I feel like that anxiety of like, I don't know, maybe rejection's hard sometimes. So like you like take so long like crafting a certain way to phrase something to like make sure you come off and you are understood the way you want to. But I think sometimes it doesn't matter. But a lot of people are just happy, just like the effort is what matters to most people. So I think just try.
Yeah. Well said. And then last but not least, top 5.
Okay, so sushi after a hangover. So like after a night of drinking, I fucking love eating sushi. So that's one thing.
Sushi after a hangover.
Yep. I would say giving myself little treats. You know, like deciding like, oh, maybe I want like a Frosty or like a milkshake. Yeah, get the fucking milkshake, dude.
Yeah.
Like get that thing, dude.
Treat
That's
yourself.
2. Watching sports with friends while drunk. Fucking electric. Because I didn't really like football that much growing up. Like going to Ohio State, you just get forced to. There's no way you don't.
Yeah.
And especially living in Ohio, so watching sports with friends. Shitty content. I love shitty content, like Hallmark movies, reality TV show. Fucking love Love Island. You know, like just really shit content. Just brain rot. Fucking love that stuff.
Hell yeah.
And last but not least, I have a Carhartt jacket I like a lot. I can't live without that thing. It's like an Aztec kind of black one. Yeah, that's gonna be my 5th one.
Oh yeah. It's a wonderful top 5 right Yeah. Well, that's the podcast.
Dude, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
This was a joy. This was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, no, I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah, it was so cool that you do stuff like this. This is a great idea. I've never heard anyone doing something like this.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. People have said they want to do it, and then it's that effort.
Yeah, you did it, right?
Because, like, look, again, this is great and all. I love it, but it is a lot of work.
Yeah, like, it's always
get
like that gap between, like, do you want to do something, or you think it would be cool if you did something? Like, but then there's that doing.
Yeah. I mean, the thing for me is, like, I wanted to do this for, like, so long. The thing is, I don't even know logistically how to, like, do it, the questions, all this stuff. One day in the shower in the Vatican, I just really started thinking, oh, that'd be a good question for the podcast.
Yeah, dude.
And I came out, 45 minutes later, I had, like, the first version of all the questions I have. And it's, like, played around with the ordering, played around with, like, adding and removing some questions over time. But, like, the effort to just even start it up in the first place, just get all the details.
How often have you like rewatched well, other than like editing, have you ever like just like rewatched them?
Other than editing, no.
Okay.
Or only because like, I don't know, the focus for each episode is like on the guest.
Yeah.
So like my own episode that eventually happens, maybe, probably, depending.
Ooh, who would you want to do your?
The plan right now is I'm going to Cleveland in March. Gonna have, so, you know, they're all like one-on-one episodes because it's like the focus is the other person.
Yeah.
I'm thinking special group episode of me, Hudson, Evan, Adam.
Oh, that would be fire.
I'm interested to see how it goes because, like, I don't know, I think having a range of people will also be interesting of, like, you know, like, not to say, like, some people are going to care more or less, but some people are going to care more or less about, like, different questions, different topics, all this stuff. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, get your little pot of people.
Yeah.
Just like have that podcast day.
Hell yeah.
Have that if everybody wants to start a podcast.
Yeah.
But you did make these interviews,
Yeah.
so that was very cool.
Thank you.
Hey.
Yeah. But how do you want to end this episode?
Damn. How do I? That's a big question. Damn. See, I'm overthinking that too. That's my problem, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna end it in the most organic way possible, which is like a fade to black.
All right.
And it's just gonna cut out with like me saying things like the most deranged word, egg salad, just waffling about, and in some way during this thing, it's just gonna cut. It's gonna be over. The end.
Yeah. How do you know my process? Every episode I fade out, or I fade to black as soon as like